Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel. Just a quick update on Solana. I was looking at a few different Elliott wave patterns for Solana, and I was looking at, the original ways to draw Elliott waves, your typical ABCs, which of course, we've continued to break down in this bear market, so this is not an ABC. And I've also looked at the argument for, this being a 5-wave, but this is not really moving like a 5-wave structure in my opinion. So I looked at some more complex Elliott wave theory, and I noticed a very interesting W3 WXY Elliott wave pattern that I wanted to talk about in this video. Now, before we do jump into this, we were looking at this chart for Solana yesterday. I normally don't upload Solana, 2 times in 2 days. Yesterday, we were looking at Sol BTC pairs, Fibonacci's, volume profiles, bull market support bands, tons of all that good stuff. So if you want a more extensive analysis just outside of Elliott waves, then be sure to check out yesterday's video. But let's talk about this. Now, I'll reset this chart so we can go through this together. Of course, we've previously talked about this on the channel, how, if you look here, you've got the individual wave count. In the macro wave count, you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bull market top. Now, we've already established this, we've already talked about this, you can see the individual wave count there if you want. But let's reset this and talk about this W3 WXY pattern. Now, first of all, what is a W3 WXY pattern, and how does this differentiate between a regular Elliott wave? Now, we've talked about Elliott wave theory many times on the channel. The typical ABC corrections are when you have a macro A, B, C in a zigzag pattern, and within this, macro ABC, you have micro wave counts. You've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave coming down to your A, then you have an ABC correctory wave up to B, and then you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave back down to C. However, when you're looking at Sol in the higher time frames, like I said at the start of the video, I was looking at 3 waves, I was looking at 5 waves, and wondering why this market structure does not have the characteristics of this at this moment in time. And then I started looking at the WXY W3 structure pattern, and I noticed this is exactly what is happening in Solana right now. So we just showed you, this macro wave count up here, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where Solana topped out. And here's where things get very interesting. So let's dive into this. Now, if I pull up this WXY pattern, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we topped out here. Obviously, this is the start of the wave. This would be your W. This would be your X. And somewhere down here, I believe we're going to be coming down to round about $5, which is where this previous high was established, and all the way down to this volume, not volume profile, to the candle body close down here at 444. Now, this is not just in terms of technicals looking at previous support and resistance. If we do come over to this other chart, another massive reason why I'm talking about this range down here is, as you can see, there's huge volume profiles down here. Like I said, I'm just going to highlight the target. I don't want to dive into, too many reasons why this is my target. If you want to know more about that, then check out the previous video. But in terms of the Elliott waves, this is what the macro structure would look like. Now, let's talk about the individual wave counts. Now, why this pattern is called a double 3 WXY is because it has a double ABC zigzag pattern followed by an irregular ABC pattern. So I'm going to highlight the regular ABC patterns in this box right here, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Once again, if you're looking at classical Elliott wave theory or even original Elliott wave theory, your typical ABC is like this. ABC, zigzag to the downside, as you can see, your typical ABC, and it's slanted down. So what you can see here is within the move down to W, you've got a perfect macro A, B, C. And let me show you where things start to get a little bit different. So this is your zigzag. I'll highlight this. Zigzag. Also copy and paste this over here, zigzag. So these are where you're going to get your zigzag ABC patterns, ABC. But right here is where you have an any free. So what this basically means is, yes, you can have another ABC pattern to the downside, but typically your ABC patterns are slanted up. Now, they don't always have to move like this, where you've got an ABC with the C pushing higher than the A wave. However, when you do have these any free patterns, typically the C wave is always above the previous C wave at this low. So you've got your original ABC down in this zigzag pattern, and then when you have your next ABC, you have normally your B wave and your C wave is slightly higher than the previous C wave. So if we look at this, you can see from this low down here, you can see a move up to A. You can see a higher low right here, around about $26.08, and then pushing up to $38. That would be another C wave. If I just remove the drawings quickly, you can see how, once again, if we're marking this, clearing this up a little bit so you can see, I know it's a bit ungodly to put so many Elliott waves all over on one chart, but you can actually see, oops, that this C wave down here, this was, you know, your A, B, C, your C wave was down here, then you started a new ABC, you've got an A, the B wave is higher than the original C, and as you can see right here, the C wave, the B and the C wave are higher than the original C wave here, so it's a little bit hard to see when you've got, you know, all these boxes over the screen, but this is what the any free type pattern looks like. So we'll just type this in as any free. Make this a different color, make this orange, and as you can see, you know, right now, quite recently, on the 31st of August, when Solana started topping out around about that $39 region, we should be starting a new A wave. Now, once again, why is this pattern called a WXY double free structure, and why is it not called a triple free structure? Well, because you're not having a triple zigzag pattern, you're having a double zigzag pattern. So once again, zigzag is your ABC, this is your typical, you know, ABC zigzag structure, A, B, C, slanted to the downside. So once again, if this WXY double free structure is going to play out, we should once again be putting in another slanted ABC to the downside, with the next C wave on this zigzag being lower than the previous C wave, which of course means that we should be breaking down into new lows once again. As you can see, you know, if we're looking at, you know, the start of this C wave, we should have broken down A, B, C, and if we look at this A, we've already broken down into new lows, and of course, if you're having a slanted ABC to the downside, a traditional zigzag, the C is going to be lower than the A. So what this looks like to me is we've started a new structure. As you can see, we've come down for A, we've bounced up to B, and we should be heading down to my price target, which I mentioned well, I've been mentioning this price target for the past few months, all the way down here at these volume profiles around about $4.50. I've had this price target for months and months and months. People laughed at my $10 price target when I talked about it at $100. People laughed at it at $25. I moved my price target down to $5. People laughed, and we went down to $8, and people weren't really laughing anymore. So we're really not too far away from this macro price target. And once again, if we do look, another reason why, you know, like I said, this is really focusing on the Elliott wave today. I don't really want to focus on any other analysis in this video other than the Elliott wave double free WXY pattern. However, one reason why this B wave could be topping out already is because if we do head over to our original chart, you can see we're getting stuck in the bull market support bands. We're retesting the short-term moving average of the EMA ribbons. We're coming up into an area of liquidity where we've just had a previous liquidity grab. If we clear up this chart, you can see we're currently retesting range lows and we're getting stuck underneath them. There's just a plethora of different reasons why we should be getting kind of stuck around about this range. Even if we come over to Sol BTC, you can see Sol BTC is retesting a very important 786 Fibonacci region. So like I said, on this video, I really just wanted to focus on this WXY Elliott wave pattern, but nonetheless, I did just want to give you a quick reason for those of you who haven't seen my previous video on why I do think, you know, Solana should be topping out round about this region, and why the next zigzag A, B coming down for your final breakdown to the downside is in play, in my opinion. Now, in terms of how far we have to go, being conservative, the top of the range of the volume profiles start around about 450. So if we take a measured move from where we are at this moment in time down to 450, you could potentially see another 80% drop could be playing out for Solana. If this is your first time on my channel, don't think I'm fudding. My profile pic on YouTube is the Solana NFT. If you follow me over on Twitter, my profile pic on Twitter is the Solana NFT. I'm a big fan of the Solana ecosystem. I will be buying Solana for the next bull market. I think Solana's going to much higher price targets than it topped out at $268. Big fan of this ecosystem. However, I'm not a permabull. I would like to buy cheap and I would like to sell high in the next bull run. Unlike most crypto YouTubers, which are bullish, 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 I'm looking at these markets objectively, and this Elliott wave pattern tells me that we should be breaking to the downside alongside all of the other analysis we've been doing on this channel. So that's all I've got for you today. As always, my friends, if you do enjoy the content, let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment. Share the videos with your friends, and if you do want more of my charts, posts, economic data, memes, be sure to head over to my Twitter at 618_cowboy. But for today, that's all I've got. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.